They were in the Bahamas.
Save it for the podcast.
Guys,
I thought we were rolling.
We're all
like, let's go.
We're all too extroverted. We need to stop. Let's roll.
Can we agree
All right.
that's how we start this episode? Baby.
I will bring I'll bring my calm Amber.
No,
like
bring your crazy Amber.
How many Ambers are there?
There's like 3 Ambers.
Oof.
3.
Yeah,
that's so
Amber.
limiting.
The other Amber with an H, your sub personality.
Yes.
And then the Amber with a silent R.
There's obviously a mushroom Amber that likes rock, paper, scissors. Amber.
That's what my uncle sounds like when he says my name.
Amber.
It's like Amba. It's more Egyptian. It's Arabic.
Alrighty, what is going on? What's up, guys? Welcome to the Modern Flirting Podcast. My name is Cosmo.
And my name is Jared.
And we're with a very special guest. We have an interesting story here. Let me introduce you first. Gosh darn it. This is Amber, everyone.
Hi, I'm Amber, guys.
Amber.
And this is Amber. So me and Amber met in Tulum. Had a very different experience of Tulum. And then we connected through talking about our movies and films and stuff like that. And here we are, 4 weeks later? I'm bad with
It's 4 weeks? I haven't been paying attention. It's February 1st.
It's a month.
A month.
Oh, yeah.
A month, 4 weeks.
Almost literally a month.
We literally met on New Year's.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Happy anniversary.
Then there we are.
Thank you.
We are in Hollywood, California, and we been chatting a lot, and I wanted to get you on a podcast because I wanted to get your outlook and perspective on a lot of dating and relationship questions that me and Jared have. Especially wanted to let you know that I have officially convinced Jared to move to LA. So in January 2024, he will be living in LA.
Amazing.
That is the plan, yes.
So whatever you say good things about LA.
Unless there's something I should know about LA.
Amber, really good things.
We're not going to tell you the bad things about LA.
So you love the dating. So if you love the dating scene in LA, then. Yes.
Wait, are we just gonna jump right into it?
Well,
that was gonna be okay.
We can if you would like. I have
sure.
plenty. Well, I was going to ask too. Like, where do you live, Jared?
It's not good. Fort Lauderdale,
That's not bad. I've been to Fort Lauderdale.
It's not that. I've taken him a few times. It's.
Watch how this works. How long did you go for?
That's 4 days.
It's always the
3
to 5 day mark. After 8-9 days, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I didn't get to explore a ton of Fort Lauderdale when I went, but it seemed cool.
I'm impressed you even went. Did you Fort Lauderdale or Miami?
No, I went to Fort Lauderdale.
Nice.
I've been to Miami, but I only went because a friend was performing and I got dragged along to be a wing woman, funny enough, because the guy that was performing was her previous lover per se, and he had brought in a new girl, and it was just an interesting situation, and she needed someone there for emotional support.
Is that a wing woman or like a bodyguard? That's like a different.
I was like, well, she's friends with him and she wants to maintain that relationship, but at the same time it was like, it's kind of weird.
What are your thoughts about if we talk about a wing woman, which we have a lot of female friends that are wing women, which they'll go out, and so we're going out and being social, talking to other women, and they'll like help, and they'll
facilitate.
Go ahead.
I think you're an emotional support pet. That wasn't a wing woman.
No, I was definitely I was an emotional support pet. Yes,
that's what it was.
Honestly, I didn't mind it because I was like, you know, we can go, we can have fun, we'll have a good time.
Cuddles,
like it's cool. Like she's also like one of my closest friends, so it wasn't like I felt used.
In that situation where a woman is brought to be the anchor, because essentially that's what you are, the anchor. Like, okay, Amber's here, nothing bad will happen. What if you had met a guy there, and then you got, you know, there's attraction there, and then you were like, well, I kind of like this guy right now. What would you do in that situation? My homegirl just went through that, so I'm really curious.
Well, I would assume that it would flow naturally. If I did meet a guy there, my friend that brought me there would just be my wing woman. It wouldn't be like weird. I wouldn't leave though. It would probably be a part of the group, right? Are you talking about somebody that's like separate and I just wanted to go off with them?
Well, I'm talking about the fact that the objective for your friend was to have Amber here. Like she's the guard, alpha. Amber's here. Ain't nothing gonna happen to me. And then she's like, oh, Amber got a guy. Oh, Amber's over there. Oh, okay. And now she's solo.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I think that's a little bit circumstantial. I typically won't leave my friend because if I'm there to support my friend, I would say that I'm a person that's pretty self-aware and self-in-tune. So if I notice that something's off or the energy's off or if this isn't something that my friend is comfortable with, I will try to, make her feel like good about herself. I'm not going to just like ditch her. It's also like girl rule 101.
That's
like you don't
code.
just leave your friends. Like you shouldn't leave your friends ever. That's not a good friend like to be.
What are your thoughts about what we coach? So if a guy coughs like that, if a guy approaches you and your two friends, so there's 3 women, and he starts to vibe with one of your friends or even you, would you feel comfortable having your friend leave with the guy to the bar because you're with your other homegirl? Because I know if it's 2 girls, we usually coach, like you can't ask one girl to leave because you're leaving a girl by herself, essentially, when it's 2 girls. You know what I mean?
If the girl is interested and can handle herself, she can go. She can go. But also, the girlfriends that let her go are still keeping an eye on her. It's just kind of a rule of thumb. Has this happened to somebody before? That you know, or consistently this is happening with your girlfriends?
Massively.
Well, I mean, like
all the time.
All the time.
In a way where it's not safe for them to go off with the guy.
No, we're not saying not safe. He's saying so this is from the guy's point of view, right? The guy has to initiate. The guy has to approach, ask the number, go for the kiss, take the girl home, ask for the date. So the guy's kind of leading this a lot. And we can actually talk about that, who's leading what here. But at some point, if I meet you out with your friends, right? You're with your 2 friends, and I'm feeling attraction with you, and I want to get to know you better. We can be flirty, we can play, we can joke around in a group dynamic, but I can't really build a real connection with you in a group dynamic, in a club, when it's loud, blah, blah, blah. So the only way for real connection to happen is to have that kind of one-on-one time.
Yeah.
And to do that, that means freeing you away from your friends so that we can have that one-on-one time. And that's where some girls go into a righteous crusade of, nope, everybody's got to stay together. Some are like, well, as long as she feels safe and everything's fine and we approve of this guy, A-okay. It's when is it okay to go off with the guy you met versus, or maybe never. You're like, no, I have to stay in a group dynamic. And if he wants to connect with me, he better take me on a date.
I think that's just the girl feels comfortable, honestly, and the guy's not weird. To
that
be
leaves
blunt.
me out.
Like if the guy is weird, I'm not gonna be like,
out.
Yeah, we're done.
like
All right.
don't like most of the time if the girl is not into it, her girlfriends will make an excuse about like let's go to the bathroom or let's do this and that. Obviously you might get those cues. Some guys don't get those cues.
I have a theory on the bathroom thing, by the way. I want to get your...
It's not always the bathroom. Like we'll come up with something else, or sometimes we'll just drag them away, like out of the conversation, if it's not a safe
You just get the hook, you're just like, get over
like,
it,
okay,
scorpion
come
mode.
over here. Yeah, that's it, basically.
So I have a theory, and I want to get your take on this. This is something I developed years ago. I ran it by Albert, and we swear by this. If a girl says, I have to go to the bathroom, it's a classic
There's
escape
an
line.
algorithm?
It's an algorithm.
Okay.
It's just a move that I've noticed all girls do.
This is mathematical now.
Yeah.
This gets very deep, Amber.
I love it. I love
gets
seeing
very
patterns. When a girl says she has to go to the bathroom, if she does this and goes, I have to go to the bathroom, I'll be right back, you got about a 50-50 shot she actually has to go to the bathroom and comes back. However, if a girl goes, I have to go to the bathroom, but I'm going to be right back, and she touches your arm, gives you the arm rub, she's gone. She's not coming back at all. And that's her way of giving you some like physical validation as, I know I'm about to like leave you and ditch you, but there you go. And then she's gone. I don't think I've ever had a girl say, I need to go to the bathroom, but I'll be right back, touch my arm, and then come back. But I'm curious, what do you guys think about this?
I have really strong thoughts about that. So we're about to get into a debate, but go ahead, Amber.
That sounds counterintuitive. Like,
Yes.
is she like rubbing you? Is she like
she's not
patting
seductive.
you like a dog?
It's just a touch. It's just
But
like,
what,
I'll be right back.
but what he's saying is that she's feeling guilt, right?
Yeah.
There's like kind of guilt there, so she wants to leave the guy. Like, it's okay, everything will work out.
I know,
just not
rejecting
with
you.
me,
Yeah.
but you continue to live your best life.
Correct.
That's so sad.
Welcome to the world of a guy.
Okay. I personally wouldn't do that. I don't think I know many girls that would do that. I think they would just say, I'm going to go to the bathroom, it's either you have enough emotional intelligence to understand that she's into you and actually going to the bathroom, or she's just not.
That's her blow off. Yeah.
Whoa, you guys just both sparked up a whole different thing. So EQ, okay. So I'll touch on that. But from what you were saying, dude, I'm gonna have to disagree with you so hard right now.
Go for it. Makes it interesting.
I feel that I've never had a girl touch one of our guys that we coach, or even myself if they've done that, ever. Mm-hmm. And I see a pattern with my pattern that I see is their eyes. That's where I catch it. It's the eyes always do this. Well, we have a wide shot so we can't see, but the eyes always go down and left. So yeah, we're going to go to the bathroom and the eyes just go that way, like really quick.
Really? When they're not coming back?
When they're not coming back. It happened at the bungalow, and I caught that with one of the guys, and I did damage control, and she ended up being at her table for us tonight. But
you guys love the bungalow.
So yeah, I mean, yeah. But I noticed it's the eye contact. It's like the girl will like look to the left and down. And when I catch that, let me know, Amber, what you think. If that has ever happened to me, which it has, I call the girl out, and I'm like, "Oh,
bold.
Got it." No, I for sure did something wrong right now. I know you guys just girl coded each other. I just wanted to let you know. I apologize if I did anything wrong. I feel like something really good is going to happen in your life, and you actually don't have to come back. Now, when I say that,
smart.
When I say that, the girl won't necessarily like come back to the table or come back, but I would say like 9 times out of 10 we'll see each other again, and she'll re-engage because she's like, the way that this guy handled himself and didn't like bark at me, he didn't get offensive or insecure, he called it out, which shows that he has high EQ. Most men don't, a lot of guys have very low EQ. That's my little one-liner when that happens.
I think that is really, really smart, because immediately I think anyone's reaction, girl or guy, was you'd feel kind of bad. And I'm not saying that you're guilt tripping them, but it takes them off guard, because normally guys don't put up a fight. They're kind of they either put up a fight in a way where they try to force you to stay, and they can be a little bit aggressive physically sometimes, like grabbing you or anything, if they have like a drink or a few drinks in them. Or they just kind of give up. Or maybe they find you again throughout the night and get back to you and like try to talk to you. So you handling it in a way where it's like catching the girl off guard and being like, oh, like basically like you don't think that, like, completely lost my train of thought right there. Like lost my train of thought.
It's calling the elephant in the room and showing the emotional intelligence to notice that. So it's like she knows, but you're voicing it and you're giving permission. You're making it okay, which gives her a sense of control now. Yeah. She's like, I got it. It's totally fine. I guess I did something wrong. It
also breaks that barrier of you not knowing that girl. So it kind of brings, I wouldn't say bring you down, but brings you guys at the same level of, hey, like, I'm just a person, you're another person, I'm just talking to you. It doesn't need to be weird. There doesn't need to be this anxiousness around having a conversation with you. So I think you being able to say that is like, okay, well, no, I don't mean it in a way where I don't like you, or it's this and this and that. The girl immediately kind of gets defensive and then re-engages in the conversation. But also, if she's smart enough, she also knows that this guy is making like an active effort to just be like chill and not like really get up in my space about it.
Yeah.
That's what I think would be kind of going through a girl's brain. Less analyzed, but yes.
I feel like with women, if a guy can guess, and I might be off right now, I almost want to get into a debate with Jared and you, Amber, both
Always.
of you.
Why are we not?
I don't know. Let's just debate this shit. Me and Brent versus you two. Brent's behind the camera, barefoot, doesn't matter. It's all good.
Does Brent not agree?
Brent's just, Brent's okay. Brent.
Okay.
If a guy can figure out what a girl is thinking and or feeling in that moment, I feel that if it ever gets to a place where sexually escalated and you're about to have sex with a guy, you're almost going there, and you know how girls are like, okay, I'm good, let's slow down. And if the guy can't really catch a cue, and he's in his head, he's like, oh no, she wants me to play hard, she wants me to be alpha, but the girl really is feeling and thinking, bro, I'm good, like I don't want to do it. I think it's like the girl innately is like, this guy can catch my cue, so if it ever goes there, or if I ever hang out with him again and I'm starting to feel anxious, he'll look at me and be like, hey, I feel like the vibe's off right now, if you want to go somewhere else, like we can go. And the girl's like, what the fuck, I was thinking that and he said that. This is my opinion, like what the girl is thinking and feeling, if a guy can catch that. That goes back to high EQ and being able to read what the girl is doing and feeling rather than what she's saying.
It's very well said.
It's every girl's dream. You know, the whole like, I just want him to understand, you know, I'm not a mind reader. Every guy's like, I'm not a mind reader. It's like, no, but you could pick up on the cues. It's almost like a cop out, the whole like, I'm not a mind reader thing. Even how
I just want to talk about this thing. Even how we met was so random, right? Like, so I saw you and your group of friends. I'm like, I'm going to go talk to them.
You were talking, I think you were talking to my friend Jess before you were talking to me.
Oh, okay.
And then I walked up and I had water. This is back to the whole water conversation.
Which disappeared, apparently.
Kept disappearing. Lost all of my water that entire night.
Bring your own water to Tulum.
So thirsty.
Water, tequila, water. I mean, it wouldn't, you know.
I wasn't drinking tequila.
Sure.
I had one shot.
Story changes instantly.
One shot of tequila. No, I really did. I did.
It's like maybe 2.
No, I think it was 1. I don't remember.
She was drunk.
You were drunk. It doesn't matter.
How do you remember?
No. I was definitely having a good time, but I wasn't drunk.
I'll tell you the moment, in my opinion, and this is so embarrassing, but I'm going to say it.
Okay. Don't feel embarrassed.
So I'm.
It's okay. You're safe.
Okay. So when I was a child, when we met, it was like paper, rock, scissors, shoot. It was a lot of fun. I felt like there was no agenda on my end, no agenda on your end. It wasn't like, yo, let me get your number, girl. You weren't like, what do you? It was like pure, just good vibes.
Yeah.
What we did when we were in middle school or elementary, right? Like there was no agenda. It's
100%.
like, let's go play in a sandbox. Let's go play paper, rock, scissors, shoot. The moment where, and let me know what your thoughts are on this, where I saw you the next day or the other, whenever it was. You were by the beach and me and John were walking, and then I look and then you look and we were like, wait, what? And we both had like for 3 seconds, like we know each other.
Yeah.
And but there was like a delay, right?
There was definitely a delay.
You were just short circuiting from me last night? What?
No, I did a double take because I was like, wait, I know you. This is so crazy that you just happen to be on the same beach as me right now, 2 days later. That's what was going through my head.
And now 1 month later here is like serendipitous.
Well, no, this is my whole point. Let me get to my point. So then she's like, come over here. So then I walked up to you and then you were buying something or doing something. So I waited. I
was buying a coconut.
Yes, you were buying Coke. Coconut, sorry. Coconut. And no. So I walked up and then you were buying your thing and I was like, all right, I'm out. Like, it was good. And so as I was walking, and I feel like we're going to get into the subject, who's chasing who and that dynamic. I was like, all right, I'm out. I'll see you later if we ever see each other again. Then you were like, oh no, let's exchange Instagrams.
Yeah.
I feel, and I always get pushback from guys, and probably guys that are watching our podcast are going to say that I'm wrong, I'm not red pill, and I'm not alpha, that at some point the guy will showcase his personality, his energy, his vibe, like what he's about, and then you let the girl lead. Yeah. Like if the girl wants to be like, oh, this guy's a cool guy in whatever facet, then a girl will say or do something.
Yeah.
And in that moment, that's what happened, because I didn't want to stay there and just wait for you to buy your coconut and just standing there randomly be like, she's buying a coconut, let me just wait here. I'm like, I'm out. And then you were the one like, well, get my IG before you go.
Yeah, I think that was a smart move in the sense that you had like retreated. Just because it's kind of odd to wait around. Like nobody wants to wait around. Like it's weird. Like you're in the space like with my friends. But I actually was like, no, I want to get your Instagram because it happened for me beforehand when we had met at the party. I was like, no, this guy's actually really cool. Like, I enjoy you as a person. So when I did see you on the beach, I was like, oh, like, hi. It's not like, oh, hi, I've seen you at a party before. I don't really want to reenact with you ever again. So, by the way, it was a complicated situation with that coconut. The woman's card and machine thing was not working at the same time. And my friend was buying multiple things. I just wanted a coconut. So I was trying to handle it, but I don't speak Spanish. So I wasn't trying to be not attentive.
Oh, that's how you could have saved the day right there. If you knew
Hola,
there's a Spanish issue going on.
Yo soy Latino. Please let me help.
Yeah, you should have grabbed him like, yo, can you translate for this coconut?
No, I was just in the middle of like 4 different things. And I was like, I don't know how to do this. But I didn't want to leave you just like hanging. So I was like, wait, come back. I want your Instagram.
No, I know you didn't want to leave me hanging. You literally left me hanging. I was just waiting there like...
Amber.
How long? No, but I feel like women do this a lot. And can I call you out, Amber, real quick? Mm-hmm. And let me get your opinion on this, Jared. Is there somewhere in your brain, subconscious or consciously, where you test guys to see how they will react? Let's talk about this.
And are we talking about this specific situation?
Like the coconut or in general, where you feel, we talk about this all the time. We call it a shit test.
Yeah.
Where a girl will test Jared and then she wants to know how Jared is going to react. Mm-hmm. If Jared's like, all right, have a great night. The girl's like, I kind of like him. But if Jared is like, well, I didn't like you anyway. She's like, ooh, there it was. I knew it.
It's almost like a confidence test. Like, are you actually this guy you're portraying to be? Because anybody can act cool or confident or whatever for 5 minutes, maybe to 10 minutes. But girls, I find, or especially girls who have a lot of options, who get hit on a lot.
Yeah.
You got to weed them out, and you got to see like, all right, are you really this kind of guy, or is this a lot of bullshit? And these little tests, I think it's genius when I see girls do it, because it's
100%.
It works. Mm-hmm. It's like, can I get this guy to be reactive to me, sad, angry, whatever the case might be?
It's a little manipulative, don't you think?
I think it's subconscious. I don't think it's. Keep in mind, I don't think it's conscious. I don't think girls are doing this on like a.
Oh, really?
I'm gonna mess with this guy, like whatever. I think it's a subconscious mechanism that just comes up from talking to enough guys.
I think I disagree. Maybe this is just my personal experience, but if a woman is testing you, she's actively testing you. She knows what she's doing. For the record, I was not shit testing you. I really was just dealing with the coconut and this woman and not being able to speak Spanish.
Back to that coconut.
You're reading it like, bro, she's testing me. We got to figure this out.
No.
I just want a coconut,
No,
man.
I think he was saying I could have been if I was in that situation.
Yeah, no, I don't think she was. I was curious.
Well, keep in mind, I think if a girl's shit testing a guy, that is kind of a form of interest. Because you don't shit test a guy that you're not into.
Yeah.
I don't typically shit test because it's like either this man is like stepping up to the plate or not. Like, I'm not going to push somebody out of their zone. I can't even say that. I was going to say, I don't really pursue men because I have, but I don't do that anymore.
I want to give you an example though. I want you to like a shit test would be like, oh, is that your pickup line? If a guy comes up to you. So if you said that to a guy, you shit tested him. Because there's no right or wrong answer. There's no right answer to that, really.
Okay. Maybe I'm not understanding what your definition of shit testing is.
That's why I want to like give you some examples. Okay. Like, all right, so what's with this shirt? What is up with this? That would be a shit test.
All right, that makes sense. Okay.
It's something where there's like no right answer. It's like, what? It's a cool shirt, or it's like, I don't know, I like it, or.
All right.
Okay, so watch this.
Yeah, every girl does.
I didn't understand the definition. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Amber, watch this. Shit test Jared. Just pick apart anything from his wardrobe.
So are you wearing that Harry Potter? Why are you wearing that little Harry Potter thing?
Oh, this? Yeah. My mom got it out for me. I love it. Makes me think of her.
Your mom got it for you?
Yeah.
You a Harry Potter fan?
Love Harry Potter. It's my shit.
Did you read the books?
Team Slytherin.
You didn't read the books.
I know who Peeves is, and I'm not afraid to say it.
I don't know what Peeves is, so you definitely
now who did not read the books?
I didn't read the books.
There you go.
All right, so that was a shit test.
Yeah.
So then how most guys would react, they would be like, oh, why, you don't like it? Or why are you being so mean? Or why?
What's up? What's wrong with this? Oh, yeah, it's cool.
You know what? Now that I think about it, there was a guy that I hadn't seen for like 2 to 3 years. I had met him once and hung out with him once, and then we decided to reconnect and go out on a date. And every single time when we were texting, it was always like he got in this defense mechanism. If I was saying something to him, he took it personally and was like, what do you mean? Like, why are you being mean? Like, what? I was like, I'm not being mean. Why are you acting like a child right now? Like, I don't understand. I was just like, I think you might need to go to therapy. That was an exaggerated version of the shit test.
A shit test situation. So hard he went to therapy.
No, he really, I think this guy really had some issues. Like, I think he really had some issues because he didn't know how to have a normal conversation without either being very aggressive or feeling like he was being completely attacked. But the shit testing thing, I don't find myself doing it often. Let me put it that way.
I didn't believe one word you said when you said that.
Really?
Yeah. And
the moment I explain and give an example, you went, oh, fuck, I do that shit all the time. I felt it in your body. You're like, oh man, I didn't know that's what it was.
No, I didn't know it was, but I don't do it often. I don't really do it often. If I don't have things to say, I might shit test you because I'm like just starting a conversation with you, but I'm not doing it out of a way to like, to test you really as a person. I think
it's just something a girl does when she likes a guy. It's like, let me play with him. I think it's innocent. Don't get me wrong.
It's a form of flirting.
Yeah, it's like a flirting. It's like whatever, but it is a crucial thing because if a guy says it the wrong way and like tries to explain himself or acts insecure about that, it's an instant turnoff.
Yeah.
However, if a guy doesn't give a shit, he exaggerates the wrong answer. He puts it back, like you said, Harry Potter. I'm like, did you read the books? Now it's on you. You say you didn't read the books, right?
Yeah.
So now instead of being like, what's wrong with Harry Potter? Is that not cool? Is that okay? Like owning it, putting it back on you.
Yeah.
That's like the Uno reverse card.
Yeah. Uno reverse card.
But most guys don't do that. And I think when a guy can know how to pass those kind of tests that women do out of flirtation, out of interest, these are things we teach. That's going to allow them to have a better shot with these girls and just be ready for it. Because for guys, it can be scary, intimidating. It could make them feel very like, oh shit. When the guy you were talking to, for example, has to go to therapy because of this. Like, we're trying to avoid that.
This is like an aggressive version.
There's like
of
a guy out there right now watching his
podcast. Like, this is bullshit.
This is the girl. This is why I'm in therapy right now.
Yep, that's the girl that put me in therapy right there.
Amber.
He'll never. I don't think he'll watch. He doesn't keep tabs on me anymore. We've cut ties, but I
like he wouldn't watch your
smash
podcast.
Cut too.
I'd be like, she wouldn't watch your podcast. No one
anyway. No, I respect any guy that really does come up to you and tries to give an effort. Really, I think a lot of my friends and a lot of girls, and I would say, I know you guys use this terminology a lot. I'm friends with a lot of alpha females, and a lot of alpha females are like, don't waste my time, basically. If I don't know you, I don't want to talk to you. Not to talk bad about LA, but you can run into that energy quite often. And I'm sure you guys have. I understand how nerve-wracking it can be to start up a conversation with a girl that looks very intimidating, especially when she's like with a group of other girls, like hot girls too, and they know how to handle themselves. So when somebody does put in like their effort or gives it a shot, I try to be open about it. But that's something that I've trained myself to do personally. A lot of my friends are like, why are you talking to me?
Yeah, why are you doing?
Unless they're very like social butterflies. Like my friend Jess, for example, absolute social butterfly. But a few of my friends are like, they just aren't interested in the conversation. And I saw it happen multiple times that night at that party. And I have to say a lot of it has to do with the initial, are you attractive? Like, am I going to even talk to you? Like, are you a cool person? And if the guy within like the first probably 2 minutes to minute doesn't pass the test of like, hey, I can carry my own in a conversation, or I'm actually a cool person, if he's not attractive, then the girl isn't going to be interested at all. And
when you say attractive, I mean just physically, his body language, his vibe, what he says,
I'm talking about initial physical attraction,
okay.
But then you can also be attractive in your personality and who you are. And if you're able to like keep up a conversation and you're a cool person, then the girl might continue actually talking to you. But a lot of people are very superficial, and they're not going to want to like have a conversation if you are approaching them in the sense where they know that you are interested in them for, other reasons besides being like a friend. So that is my 2 cents on the situation. But I mean, I've always tried to be like open and like not be so closed off with people, but I also enjoy people. I like talking to them.
I think every girl, I would love to do this with you. I would love to do this with every girl, Jamie, one of the coaches we have here, to dress you as a guy, get like the best cosmetics ever, get a guy wig, put a beard on you, give you the baggy clothes, and then just have you go and approach girls with them thinking you're a guy and see it from the other side. I think it's an experiment every girl should like go through to really see what guys go through as men, and it's just, it allows for so much more empathy, I think. Then there was that reel, I think I showed you there was a feminist, a hardcore feminist.
Oh, it's gonna go dark real quick.
No, I'm not gonna go that. I'm not gonna go that far.
Okay, yeah, you're not.
There was hardcore feminist who's like, men suck, men are awful, and women have to put up with blah blah blah. She's going on a tirade, right? She goes, you know what? These guys don't know what they're doing. I'm gonna dress exactly what I said. She dressed up as a guy, and for like a month or something, she wore all the clothes. She lived as a guy, and she went up and filmed herself going up to pick up women, and talk to them. And she went with the whole, I'm going to be the vulnerable, caring, sweet guy that I know all women want, and she got annihilated. And no women would give her the time of day or anything. And she was just shocked and just like, what is going on right now? And she's like, we don't understand how hard and awful it is on the other side of it as women. Like, we just don't get it. And we see all these interviews from her. And I'm just like, what a crazy, and honestly, probably the reverse. I think women go through all different types of stuff that men have no concept of.
Men get what we call FMR, which is first minute resistance, that initial approach, heart is beating, overthinking, who's watching, sweaty hands. Okay, I don't want to do it. Then women get LMR, last minute resistance, right before sex. So we both get it. And if both genders can empathize with that, then I think we'd be in a cool spot. If a guy is escalating and is about to have sex with a girl and she's okay, stop, she's getting nervous, then the guy should be like, wait, I get nervous when I approach women. I feel like I can empathize with what she's feeling.
I think the girls would get FMR too. If they were the guy, if you put them, they have to go talk to a girl.
No, for sure. Yeah,
it's just a dynamic.
You just mean like the designated roles of what it means to be a man and a woman in this society. And like who's chasing who, if a guy is chasing a girl.
I got to say, it happened on Saturday. I find it, and I don't judge. Most guys do. They're like, "Oh, she's like a hoe or a slut." They'll start to do this.
Hate that.
This thing. We hate it. We hate
Let's
it.
Let's not do that.
Like, no, but it is. I really appreciate and hope women are listening to this podcast when a girl can walk up to a guy and strike up a conversation. I was like, what? You are a gangster. Like, that took a lot for you to do. She's like, well, I don't care. That is really unique to me.
But I think women have a leg up on that. We're received a lot better when we're initially approaching somebody. I mean, most guys, from my experience, have been nice. Well, this goes into another topic.
The guy from the therapy session, that guy.
Yes, that guy. No, I think most men receive women a lot better than women receive men, to be honest, especially if it's just like someone you don't know and it's at a random party. I think it's just because a woman is attractive and we're softer type creatures, we're feminine creatures, and a guy is trained to be gentle and to be kind and nurturing to us. Even if when a girl is like being annoying, I think guys like try to still be soft. Like if your homeboy is being annoying, a guy is being annoying, you're gonna just be like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, I'm not dealing with this stuff. Or if it's another dude that you don't even know, you're just not gonna deal with it. Or you're gonna politely just be like just stop like acting the way that you're acting. But when a girl comes up to you, even if she's being annoying and chaotic, say she's drunk and you meet her at a party, you're still kind of like allowing. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know how you guys personally react or how your friends react.
If it's guys' night, I don't want any bitch coming to me and my friends. She should stay away because this is guys' night and our wallets and watches are on the floor.
No. Seriously?
No.
I was like, maybe I should go now. I was like, maybe I should leave. Well, how is it for you guys? Like, what do you think you do with a girl in that situation when she does come up to you and she's not, like someone that you really want to talk to?
I mean, I think I do it pretty well. I would bring them if they have a good vibe, but I know that they're not my type or I'm not attracted to them. I bring them into my circle, and then I'll invite them out to a lot of events that I throw and that I go to, and then they become like my friend. That like.
So that would never happen the other way.
Like if you think about it, they know this. Like in LA. Mm-hmm. I do have a lot of friends. Out of my friends that I have 2 guy friends. Most of them are women. I have no problem making female friends with no kind of like sexual objective agenda. I am totally cool with just having a female friend.
Did you grow up with a lot of women?
Fucked up women. Well, no, I mean, I grew up, my grandma,
Care to elaborate?
Well, no,
without disclosing too much.
But I don't think that's the issue. But no, I grew up with my mom. She was not a very good mom at all. She caused like a lot of trauma. We talk about it a lot in podcast. Yeah. And then
healed man.
And like, thank you. And my grandma came in and she's like, nah, you're not going to mess him up. Like, let me. So she was like my guardian angel. But I feel like, and people kind of make fun of me for this, or I don't know if you guys do, but I think this is going to sound so wrong.
No,
I think like a girl does.
No one's going to make fun of you.
Well, I think it's just being around him so much, you start picking it up.
This is what like a lot of the people that are around me, I think like a girl does. And even like a new thing that we came up with last night, which you were going crazy, like getting into my mind. He was like, well, what do you do when you go out? And we came up with this whole thing. When I'm talking to a girl, I don't know what happens, but I can feel, and I assume that I know what they're thinking. And then I get one step ahead of them. So by the time that you tell me something, I've already addressed it, and you're like, well, that's a relief. Mm-hmm. So I don't really think like a guy does. And that sounds really weird.
I would say in the first probably 3 to 4 minutes of first meeting you, I caught that vibe. You were very empathetic. You had a high emotional intelligence right off the bat. You're very easygoing. I think a lot of emotional intelligence and picking up on other people too isn't... it's not super calculated. It's just like an energy. It's just a vibe that you catch off of somebody. And that's really wonderful because we need more men like that. I think a lot of women are constantly looking to be understood, and they want to be understood without vocalizing. And that's a problem it's an epidemic actually that we're trying to fix. And I think I don't really know what generation you guys are technically, but my generation has been trying to be so openly communicative about it. But you as a person, I think that's also why I was like, no, I do want to maintain contact with you, because I could tell right off the bat that you were a person that was actually a cool person. I wanted to get to know you rather than, some guy that I just randomly met at a club. So thank you for being emotionally in tune.
Thank you.
Yeah. This got really sentimental very quickly.
Heartstring.
Are we going to cry? You're also an actor as well. That's your job.
I am an actor.
Yes.
Where a lot of us have come from. I mean, even like when you did the movie Frankie, like totally
blown
the opposite.
away.
Yeah, right? How amazing was that?
He sent it to me and I was just like, I was working on stuff, and then I was like so caught up in watching the short film. I started to cry. I think it was like a Wednesday, Thursday night. I started to cry watching the short film in the middle of me working. And I was just like, who is this person that I just randomly met in Tulum? And all of a sudden I'm watching their short film and I'm genuinely touched by the work that they've put together. And
hashtag check out Frankie.
Yeah. Just shamelessly promoting the short film. We're so off the topic of love, but that was a really great short film.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate that. Yeah. I think I'm going to go back to what you were saying. He tried to get me into his company for about 1.5 years. Mm-hmm. And whatever. a year or whatever it was, I had a preconceived notion of who I thought he was. I was like, this guy's a douchebag. I'm not going to meet up with him. Not doing it. And I've never had a guy. I at one point was like, oh, he's gay. I'm like, he has to be gay. Like if we can go back to
news to me.
Wow.
And you still wanted to meet up.
I mean, it was so. He was so relentless in continuing to message me. And then he caught me in Fort Lauderdale with my grandma, and he's like, hey, you're in Fort Lauderdale.
With grandma too.
Come meet up. I'm with some friends. And the minute that I walked in and I met him, most of these kind of guys, Amber, they're like, oh, I had sex with a girl last night, or I have all that. They start bragging, right?
Got it.
We didn't talk about girls at all. I met his dog, Cupid. I got on the ground, started cuddling his dog, and we were like, we normalized this, right?
Yeah.
Like it was just like kind of like normalizing what it's supposed to be. And I think it was like a massive high level of empathy, and just it was just really cool to see that.
And then we actually even went out, and I really don't even think we talked to any girls that night. I think we were just grabbed a drink and bullshitted and talked about random stuff, and that was when we was like, all right, this guy's not a douche too. Because you realize I'm always around these guys. I've been with every dating coach in the world at this point. It's either work with them, collab with them, whatever. So I've seen it too all the time. So part of me was worried about that as well. And then it was like, all right, now this is easy. This is fun, actually. So that was the lightheartedness of it was really what sold me over as well.
Did I just learn the origin story of your bromance?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's adorable. So you really just had a conversation as two people and hung out. That's basically what you did.
Yeah, I mean, you got to realize in our industry, a lot of people are manipulative. A lot of people have agendas. A lot of people are trying to beat their chest and one up everybody.
Of course.
Also, kind of in the entrepreneur world too, but not as bad as ours. People like want to show off the watches and stuff, but it's a dick measuring contest.
When you're saying your industry, are you talking about the dating, online coaching?
The dating for men industry.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not like super familiar with that industry and how that works.
God bless you.
I mean, people are like that when it comes to the entertainment industry as well. Everyone's trying to one up each other all the time. And I think it's really, really important to create a vulnerable space for people.
So you're an actor too, but I want to get your background.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. I'm an actress. I'm a new actress. I just started last year. I'm also a singer. We didn't really do an introduction there. But I come from the social...
my bad. No. Hey, this is Amber.
Check out her new latest.
Check her out.
Yeah. I just met him at a party. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all. That's my background. No, but I come from the influencing world as well. And that's a really big part of LA. And that part of LA can be very much like, oh, if you're not like this, or you don't know this person.
How many followers do you have?
It's less about followers. Actually, no, it still is about followers. It's terrible. It's so terrible. But there's a certain point where people are just like, screw this, like you kind of get over it. But that's why I'm saying it's very, very important to create a vulnerable space for like other people to feel like they can be safe to have a conversation. And I think that's also what you did when you met me initially, where you just felt like a person where I could be comfortable around.
We were playing paper, rock, scissors, shoot.
Yeah.
In like the first, who does that?
I don't know how we ended up doing that.
It just happened.
Usually person starts with this and they start going.
No, but you had a different way of playing too. And then I was like, no, you can't play that way. And you're like, okay, I'll play your way.
If I'm to be honest,
I feel like a child.
I had my one agenda was whatever you said, I was gonna disagree with you and just fuck with you. But not.
Is that a tactic?
But not like.
Is that a dating tactic?
Well, if you want more information for $29, you can sign up for our course.
Or the VIP program. You might learn the rock, paper, scissors gambit.
Looped me in.
No, I do believe that every interaction needs to have some kind of like tension or disagreement. Even in a podcast, like we have to disagree with something because then it's just kumbaya the whole time. But no, it was paper, rock, scissors, shoot, and you were like, no, it's rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about, and that's how it started.
All right, maybe. I don't know how if
I know
actually okay
for a fact.
How about we do one round right here? See who still got it.
All right.
We're playing with
We've been
water
talking
bottles
about this whole time. So
okay.
Here we go.
Are we doing rock, paper, scissors, shoot, or paper?
All right, ready?
Are you going to say
Rock, paper, scissors,
I'm
shoot.
nervous. All
On
right.
shoot,
Why
people.
am I
No cheating.
nervous?
All right, ready? Paper. Wait, what is it?
Rock, paper, scissors.
No, it's rock, paper, scissors.
Okay, ready?
How about scissor, paper?
Rock. No, what are you doing?
Well, this is how it started. Like, this is literally how it started. All right, we'll do rock,
No,
paper,
this is
scissors,
how
shoot.
it's, you're right.
Yeah. So
Great
rock, paper,
reenactment.
scissors, shoot.
Okay.
What are you picking?
I'm not going to tell you.
You're doing rock?
No, I'm not.
Yeah, I know.
The mind games have begun.
Psychologist.
Ready? Are we doing paper or rock?
We're doing rock.
Okay, so you are picking rock.
Yeah, I'm not saying.
Okay.
We're going.
Got it. Ready?
Okay, ready? Rock,
Okay, go.
paper.
Rock. Okay, so rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Yes.
Ready?
Okay,
All right, let's do
ready?
it.
2
3, 2,
hours
1.
later.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
It
Ready?
took us 15 minutes
Okay,
to figure
ready?
out. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Wow.
Okay. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
We're not gonna do
this is
this.
too
All right, well,
We're not
that's
gonna do
the
this.
entire
We'll have
episode.
this conversation off screen.
We'll have it out. What happened, Brent?
There's a podcast too, so explain what they don't. The audience doesn't know it's listening that you have. They both.
Oh, so all right. So the first round, Amber and Cosmo just shot paper, then rock, and it just confirms we're going to be here all night. So
Yeah,
we got
no,
one more
fine.
round.
We're both winners.
It's okay.
We're both
winners
winners.
at heart.
Yes.
Oh, I don't know if my OCD can take this. We're going to leave it as a
Well,
tie.
I have a question now for you guys. Are you guys dating anyone? As dating coaches, how does that go?
Each
Oh
other.
God.
That clearly.
Yeah.
But is it a throuple?
We're not
there's
dating
somebody
each other.
missing?
That would be so weird.
I mean,
if
sometimes-
that really happened.
Sometimes you might bring Brent in,
Subtle.
but I don't know if it's called a throuple.
Are you part of the throuple?
I'm.
How does that work, Cosmo? How are we?
God.
I did watch that other short. Remember about
Oh yeah, it's complicated.
it's complicated.
Jared, you want to take this one? Where's your thing at? And Brent, what time is it?
You guys thought about
No, what time is it? Like in real life?
In real life?
6:23.
Okay, cool.
I guess recently I got something new. Yeah, back home
Okay.
I'm dating a girl now. Nothing official, but I want to see where it goes for sure. Honestly, it came from. I wasn't going to do this, but it came from Brent, Cosmo, Albert.
And Amber, isn't it funny how it works? Can I say this that you didn't find her?
No,
Oh, okay, that's true. Okay. Well,
let me explain my
This is what
situation.
you can-
How
Disclose
about
what you
I
may.
explain my
Disclose
situation?
what
Is
you
that
may.
cool?
This is why it's dangerous. This question right now.
Well, look. So my whole thing is,
Should I not ask you that question?
No, you
No,
should.
you're
This is
good.
what
No,
we
this
need.
is what we live for.
boundaries.
This-
No, no boundaries.
No boundaries at all.
We live for these moments, by the
Oh,
way. This is our
that's
dynamic.
healthy.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, God. No boundaries. Wait a minute. Damn.
He had a lot of approval and validation from his guy friends. I was like, I like her a lot.
Okay.
She's the type of girl that you can bring around
There's
your
so much story to this, though. You're
Sorry, go ahead.
zipping it. So, all right, here's the whole story. I met this girl, was into her, cool, had fun, but I was going through, like, I guess, a man whore phase at the time, and she saw. There's nothing exclusive. We weren't like boyfriend girlfriend, but she saw evidence of another girl. And she's like, all right, I'm going to peace out. So I'm like, all right, it is what it is. And a couple of years later, we started hanging out again just as friends and was totally fine with it. And basically, I've been going this way like, okay, I should probably date a girl seriously and someone who matches my energy, right? So someone who's entrepreneurial, ambitious, very dorky, someone who, I run this whole company, so I'm always stressed out, someone who de-stresses me, someone who's into like Harry Potter, stuff like that. And I'm like, all right, I'm looking out for this girl, and all my guy friends were like, bro, like, that's her. You realize she's all these things you're talking about. And I'm like, oh yeah, you're not wrong. It was like the glass broke, but then I'm like, oh, but I kind of fucked that up already, and da da da. But then we just took this whole trip to the Bahamas on my buddy's yacht, and it was this whole like cool, fun 9 days of adventure, and it went that direction, and there was some reservation. There was like a talk actually on the pier where me and her like sat down. I'm like, all right, if we were to do this hypothetically, what if we explore this a little bit and see what happens, and we put some ground rules on it. I don't have to get into a whole that, but like, what she's into sexually and me, and like what we want to do and explore together.
We'll get into it, but come on.
Well, it shifted.
He's like, hurry up and tell the story.
It shifted, so, which I respect. I'm so glad to say, with the exception of one time when I was 20 years old, I've never cheated on a girl. So everything I've said, like, I've kept my word on, and I hope to always keep that. But it started with like, all right, let's do an open thing. And then it turned into, well, no, she's really into girls. So it's like, all right, let's meet girls together and explore it when there's the two of us.
See, throuple.
A throuple, yeah.
Yeah, throuple.
So I'm like, okay. So that's where we are right now. It's still kind of new, but that's Big Jared dating story as of right now. And depending on what episode you're watching, they've heard some other ones about my exes and what I've gone through in the past.
Yeah.
Well, I'm happy that you guys reconnected. It sounds like it's something that's healthy.
It's good. I mean, I'm liking where we are, but it's new. So hard to say. You'd be surprised. It's really hard to date a dating coach. Just the lifestyle, the whole, is that a line? Is that a thing you're using? What's going on? There's a lot that I've seen goes into that.
I would try not to think about it too hard.
I'd hope so.
I feel like it's just, that's a job and you have that knowledge base and that is useful for you. But I'm more concerned with the person rather than like what they have.
I wish every girl had that. I love that.
It would.
There's a lot of people that do get in their head though. I mean, a lot of girls, guys as well, have been emotionally like scarred from people in their past. I mean, we all kind of have.
Of course. It's a defense mechanism. They meet a guy like me. They're like, wait, you teach men how to meet and attract women? Oh, and you're a therapist? Mm-hmm. You have a psychology background? Okay. You're analyzing the shit out of me and everything I do, and you're using trickery, and I don't know what's going on. And I'm like, I just said hello. But I get it, but I do get it. I empathize with it.
That also again, I could be wrong, but that requires you to be on, doesn't it? Like you would actually have to put yourself in that mindset in order for you to analyze a situation in that way, unless it's your default. Is that your default?
I think there's elements of it.
That's a really good question.
No, I mean,
because a lot of the people that we know that are in that industry, my mentor that taught me when you read a script, the pickup artist, he's one of them. Like he cannot turn it off.
Yeah.
And so he'll wake up and go to bed. That is very dangerous.
I would say it depends what you mean by off. So like right now, I'm not analyzing your body language. But I can feel, based on what I know about body language, I can get a sense of what you're feeling. We can call it EQ. We can call it vibing. We can call it, without analyzing. I'm not like sitting there like, what you doing that shoulder? What's going on with your elbow, Amber? Why is it on this angle? Like, no,
I'm interested.
Right. Like your knees are pointing a little bit towards me. So you're more interested in that way. Like I can sense it. If I wanted to analyze, I could. Of course. But at this point, it's just feelings. Mm-hmm. It's just, there's interest, there's not interest, having fun. That's really all that goes through my head at this point.
It's called being human.
Yes. Yeah.
It's very simple. I think we overthink a lot. And I'm not even putting other people in a category. I tend to overthink a lot, but not when it comes to people, not really. Not really. It's a feeling and that's about it. Like you can intuitively tell, is this person that I want to hang out with? Is this a person I want to be around? Is this person that I want to be friends with or have something more with? That's about it. I mean, actually, I take that back, though, in terms of having something more with somebody, because I think, there's this compatibility, there's chemistry, but chemistry also has to do with feeling. It's all very intuitive. Compatibility is the more like logical part. Is this something that's actually going to last? And a lot of relationships don't last because people haven't figured out what their compatibility is and like where their lives are. Because, you might be dating somebody that is a morning person and you might be a night person. And then you don't sync up. That messes up your sex life. That messes up your life in general. Like you're just like, you're annoyed. That person's not there when you're working or you need them to do something and you need them to be there to support you. And I think that's a conversation that actually needs to be had prior to really getting into a relationship or going into something serious, even moving in with somebody, because your schedule and somebody else's schedule are very, very different. And when you cross somebody's space and boundaries without having that communication, problems start to arise. And then
I'm feeling this comes from experience. I got a sense that like something happened with the next where their schedules weren't aligned or...
No, you want to hear something crazy?
Sure.
I've never dated anyone seriously. I've never had a boyfriend seriously.
You've never had a boyfriend?
Well, I'm also 24, but like
I mean, 24 is 24.
Yeah.
Okay, they can say like 14, but like, I mean, 24.
I'm underage.
24.
And that's all the time we have today. All right.
I mean, especially
news to me, Cosmo.
No, I mean 20. You know what I mean?
No,
though.
Down her in Tulum.
Like,
well, I've had like things with people and situations, but my generation has issues. I'm not gonna lie, especially in a place like Los Angeles.
What you do, and you have a lot of followers on IG, and you're an actress. You're 24 years old, and you live in LA.
Yeah.
Like if I was your dad, I'd be like, oh my god.
But I want to know about the boyfriend. I mean, the girl I'm dating is not my girlfriend, but she's 22, and she's had boyfriend before. So why do you feel you've never gone the full relationship status?
Gotta jump out for 1 minute.
Yep.
No, come back.
We're gonna carry the team.
Do you want me to wait?
No, Amber, we're gonna carry the team here.
I'm not 14. I promise. My driver's license says I'm 24.
All right. Well, I gotta go down too. I don't. We're not going to any island.
Or whatever.
So so tell me about the whole. Why do you feel there's no boyfriend?
So. Not feel, I know. So I know.
Wait, there's no secret boyfriend?
I know myself. So I grew up in a very strict household and a strict family.
Strict like religious or strict like grades or both?
All of the above.
Everything, okay.
So I have an Egyptian father and a Filipino mother. My dad is very Muslim and my mom's very Catholic.
Okay. Created
an interesting environment for me to grow up in on top of being a full-time athlete and student. The dynamic that I saw between my parents wasn't love, to be honest. And it was partnership. And
that's bad.
Yeah, it was more partnership. And I grew to understand that later on. My parents were never in love. I was fully an accident. I actually had to train myself when I was younger to be not accepting, but understanding of how love worked. Like saying the words, I love you, is very, very difficult for me to say when I was young as a child. But now I can say it. Now I'm totally fine with saying it, and I've worked on that relationship. But I have always had very high standards for myself and for somebody that I choose to bring into my life. And that goes for friends and somebody romantically as well.
So what key things would you say you're looking for a guy to cross that threshold from a guy you're dating, talking to your first official boyfriend that we can celebrate on?
Well, it's a little more complicated than that, because I'm very much a person that's like, I want to have all of my ducks in a row first before I can put effort and the right attention into somebody else, because it's one, not fair to myself and not fair to them. So I don't ever want to put myself in a scenario where I'm going to be upset at myself from taking away from myself, but also trying to put my energy into another person. However, talking about what would meet these like requirements and standards for someone to be a boyfriend in my life, I think everyone has a set of non-negotiables, even if we don't know what they are. Clarifying them, I think, is very, very important, which is something that I've done and I'm doing.
Can't be 14.
Can't be 14. Yeah, definitely not 14. Over the past year and a half, definitely high emotional intelligence. I need somebody to be emotionally intelligent, because I got to be able to communicate with you and have a conversation and know that we'll get somewhere with the conversation. Somebody that's well-traveled and cultured, because that's always been very important for me. I've always traveled a lot since I was young, and I also think it gives you a great perspective on life, and a better perspective on life, that there's more than one way to live. And that doesn't have to do with just, our, like day-to-day activities. It's also mindset. Financially stable, and also like financially able to provide, and is ambitious to want to create more for themselves. And then there is obviously like them being attractive. I've genuinely tried to make connections with, I can have a connection with somebody, but I can't be romantically involved with you if I'm not attracted to you. And you can be attracted to somebody in different ways, like their personality could be attractive, but I think for a lot of women, and not just myself, if we can't be attracted to them physically, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard to build that connection past that where you can like have a relationship.
So let me recap. So a guy with high EQ,
yes,
well-traveled, financially successful, physically attractive. I mean, are you just trying to describe my boy here, or what are you?
Oh my God, dude.
He's sitting right here. It's like a little awkward.
I do have a type though, and I've realized that I've had a type. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I have. I'm into pretty boys. And it's a problem because a lot of pretty boys will
Suck dick.
Yeah, there's not.
Okay.
They
so you go
can
for the gay looking type, like the flamboyant type.
Sorry?
You're looking for like the flamboyant. When you say pretty boy, what are we?
When you say flamboyant, what do you mean by flamboyant?
Like metrosexual, like very groomed, very, I don't know, like.
Yeah. It depends on your definition of groomed, because some like I don't know how to explain that. Groomed, because some guys are like very, like when they get haircuts, it's very like, I need to have like a certain type of haircut and style that is like slicked back, like edged on the side. I don't know if I'm necessarily into that. Like I love like pretty boys that look like model types that also look like athletes and are athletic looking and tall, but that's also a normal checkbox for most women. Yeah. So
you want to do like a lightning round of curveballs to see if like, would you or would you not date this kind of guy?
Are you going to just list off people to me?
Well, if I said like, all right, could you date a guy who's under 6 foot? Is that a deal breaker or no?
Depends how short we're talking.
How about 5'11" or 5'10"?
I could probably.
Okay.
But I will be taller than you in heels.
I could probably means fuck no.
Yeah, no way.
That's what that means.
No, it doesn't. It depends on other factors with the guy.
So if he's 5'10", he's confident, he'll be 6'1" with his confidence.
There you go.
I mean, what's that one game? You guys should play this game on the podcast where it's like he's a 10, but
there you go. He's a 10, but he makes less than you. Ooh.
Oh, that's a good one.
If he's ambitious.
I love that. Honestly, I think you just had the number one answer to that.
I was gonna say, if he's ambitious.
See that sometimes, yeah.
Well, a lot of my friends that are alpha females date men that don't make more than them, and I also have friends that are alpha females with alpha men, which is also kind of problematic sometimes because there's like all the time. But I think I would be okay with it because I also understand that it takes a while to build up your assets, and if they're ambitious enough to grow, even better.
I think that's like one of the most intelligent. I do interviews on the street, just for my own marketing and whatever with girls. So I ask these kind of questions a lot or whatever. I think that's one of the best answers I've ever gotten, because most women are just like, where are you? Honestly, yeah. I mean, most women are just like, no, or sure, I can do it, or whatever, but they don't think like, is he worth investing in?
Well, I've always
can he grow?
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
How dare you? No.
Sorry. I've always been very independent. So I don't expect, and I haven't ever had really like a man take care of me. And it's also something that I've had to train my mind to do, which is allow a man to take care of you, because you meet a lot of alpha females that most likely have grown into becoming an alpha female, and they do so whether it be because of the world teaching them that way now, or they've been hurt. And I've a little bit of both, not to call myself out there, but I've never like expected anyone to really take care of me. I've always had to do it on my own. So I've had to be like okay with the fact that a guy constantly wants to pay for dinner. A guy constantly wants to do this and this and that. But it's not that I don't like it. I love that a man is in charge, and most women do love that a man is in charge. But I think that it's very old school, for lack of better word, to think that a man has to constantly provide and a woman isn't supposed to, or vice versa.
Can you get her? we need to do another podcast about that. I have
two.
so many things to touch on with what you guys said. But yeah, we're close to wrapping up. I do agree with what Jared said. I feel like you had a lot of time to think about this, right? Because it was like very well thought out. What like kind of like the things that you're looking for, a lot of the traps
She's been waiting. She's still. So I hope so.
Like,
yeah.
You're like.
Well, I am talking to somebody right now.
And by the way, if you are a pretty boy athlete who's ambitious,
hit up Amber and we'll put her IG below.
I do like artistic people a lot, but I'm realizing.
And if you're autistic, she's into it. So
autistic.
Hey, now I see what she likes Frankie. She's really into Frankie.
Frankie's my type. Goldfish.
That KOSMO, you're not hot, but Frankie, I love. All right, so Amber, where can everyone find you at?
Oh wow, okay, I get a shout out myself here. Instagram, it's Amber Corella, KHIERALLA. I also have Twitter, TikTok, and I may be starting a YouTube. So we'll see.
Go.
You should.
You will.
I think.
Yeah.
So put that out there. You're going to start a YouTube. It's going to blow
really
up.
Good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were a really cool guest. Honestly, you really were. Yeah.
Did you think I wasn't going to be cool?
Totally. I'm like, she's going to suck.
The moment you walked in, I'm like, this is going to be awful.
When she walked in, I'm like, bad energy.
Yeah.
She's awful.
The worst.
How can we cancel Amber? Jared's like, just don't do it.
For a brief second, I was like, I don't know where I am outside. And I didn't know where the address was. I was like, did KOSMO send me the wrong address? No, he didn't do that. You would never do that.
I wish I would have done that.
Oh my God. That would be so bad.
Imagine.
That is my revenge for making me wait on the fucking coconut.
Sorry.
Wilson. Guys, we love you. Thank you so much for tuning in to another episode of the Modern Flirting Podcast. If you have not, please make sure that you comment below. We want to hear what you think about the podcast. When we see your comments below, we talk about that in our future episodes.
It really sparks us up for future stuff. It really
does. And for those of you that hate us, we love that too. Tell us how much we suck. Yeah. For those of you that love us, put that in below. We just want engagement. And do not forget to subscribe. We love you. Jared, any final thoughts?
No, everything you guys, everything you just said, appreciate every single one of you, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Love you guys.
Ciao.
That was really good.
Well, man.